Okay everyone, so I'm going to show you how to do the top 6 project, and this is the mild version of the project. So I'm giving you 3 options. You can start with mild, medium, or caliente. This is the mild option. So in this option you have a replet that has a lot of stuff already in it. Okay, I'm going to explain what this stuff looks like. Let's go ahead and collapse this. Let's open this up in a new tab. Okay, so for this version, I have already created the grid system and the cards for you. Okay, so I have 6 cards here. So let me explain what all of this means. Okay, so in your HTML, okay, this is your HTML file right here, and then you have a CSS file that I've added some things to. In your HTML file, the biggest thing that you have to know how to do in this project is you have to know how to read the HTML. So let's go through how to do that. It's a little bit more complicated because I've added a grid system, and that's why the images sit next to each other, and that's why they have both rows and columns here. So there's 2 rows and 3 columns. Remember, rows go horizontally, columns go vertically. So you can see there's 2 horizontal rows and 3 vertical columns. Okay, now that grid system is used by a open source piece of software called Bootstrap, and I went to the Bootstrap website and I added a link right here in the head of the HTML. See the opening and closing tag that has a link to the website Bootstrap. Okay, that is really important to keep there because it allows me to get this grid system that's already hardwired into this software. So it allows me to borrow this grid system with the columns and the rows, and it's already predefined, like the width is already nicely predefined in Bootstrap. Okay, here's the head, here's the body of the web page, and there's a lot of stuff in it. Okay, it's a really large body, so it goes down to about 92 lines. Now let's look together at what we see. Okay, the nav bar, you see the opening and closing navigation bar, that is the thing that's on the very top here. It says top 6 favorite artists. Now you are going to change that to be favorite something. It could be favorite shoes, it could be top 6 favorite musical artists, it could be top 6 YouTubers, it could be top 6 activist websites, or Black Lives Matter movement, things that you want to support. It could be anything. Okay, it's really up to you. So you're going to change that there. All right. And again, a lot of this HTML comes from Bootstrap. So it tells it to be a navigation bar. It tells it to be the level of H1. It gives it a tag called span. What you need to do is you need to be able to look inside and modify the things that you can and leave the other things. So you're leaving everything else here, but you're just modifying where it says top 6 favorite something, right? And once you change that, it will update on this. Now we've seen the division tag. I've called it main. Okay, everything from the here on down is in a division, a div tag that has a main ID to it. Okay, and I did that so that I could style it out. Notice in your CSS I've added a background color to that main, so everything that has a background color of this blue is part of the main div. Okay, now this division starts here and it ends at the very bottom. Right inside of your main div you have a class called container. That is what you need in order to get this grid system. Then you have a row here. The row starts here and it ends, it's hard to see where it ends, but it starts here, and if I scroll down very slowly you'd see it ended at 52. Okay, so inside this you have a row, and those are the 3 things that go across. Okay, and then you have a column. Right, the column starts here and ends here. Inside the column you have a card. Okay, this right here, everything that's highlighted defines one of these. Okay, and that's a card. Everything that's in here is is inside of what we call a card, and that is a Bootstrap definition. So here you have the title of the card. I put this artist Kanisha Sneed. I don't know what I just said. Oh yeah, okay. I put Kanisha Sneed, so that's her name. the artist that I wanted to depict on this card. I wrote some information about her as an artist, and then I put in what's called an anchor tag, which is a link to her website. Okay, so when I click on this, it's going to open in a new tab, and it's going to go to Kenesha Sneed's website. Okay, she's a graphic artist who does a lot of work in fabric. She's just someone I found that I think her work is really interesting. Right, so you are going to change these things. You're going to put the name of whatever you want here. You're going to describe it in the paragraph tag, and you are going to put the website where you want it to go in between these quotation marks, and then you are going to put the what you want to say. Okay, link to her works. If you modify that to say, Instagram, maybe you want to put to their Instagram page. Maybe you want to put it to some other news article about them. But whatever you want to put on this blue button, that becomes what is written on that button. Okay. Now we go to the second column, and inside the second column is another card. Okay, and then you see the same thing over and over again because I just copied and pasted the same card. So it has Kenesha Sneed again. So you're gonna make all these cards different. Notice that I had to download a picture, so there's also an image here. I don't think I told you about that. That's the image that shows up on the card. And that image is uploaded automatically to the site so you can see it. You can take that image out, add other images in. You should have 6 images as part of your Replit in order to create your project. Okay, so the whole thing you are doing with this, the biggest thing that you have to work with in the mild version of this is you are going to have to understand the HTML. Okay, remember, if let's say let's say accidentally you deleted everything. Oh my God, and you're like, oh my God, I didn't mean to do that. You can use Command Z or Control Z to get it back. Just do not run it in between. Okay, if you make a mistake, you highlight something, you accidentally delete it, use Command Z or Control Z, that gets it back. Okay, other than that, you are just finding the things you need to fill out these cards. So the biggest skill you're learning in the mild is you're learning how to read the HTML and modify it. Okay, in the medium and the caliente, we're going to actually add some of these things in, but this is the mild version of this. Okay guys, one final thing I forgot to show you is that this is what it's going to look like when it's finished. So this is my example. I have 6 artists, I have 6 cards, I have links to their pages. The first one would be Kehinde Wilder. I thought that Instagram had a great representation of his works. Bisa Butler is also interesting. She does work in fabric, but I highlighted 6 artists. I changed each card to show them, and they do have each height is a little different based on the image I put. I'm not quite sure how to fix that. I could probably go in and do a lot of work in the CSS and figure that out, but I don't mind that if that happens to you. So the whole thing is this one doesn't work. The whole thing is that you have 6 different things here. You have 6 links, you have 6 pictures, 6 descriptions, etc. Okay, have fun.